Hey kids, and welcome to the show. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about some economy stuff and some of the things that are coming down the pipe. Some important things that you need to think about, especially if you're prepping and you are trying to make decisions to better your future. Here is a concern. We are experiencing inflation, and it got hidden a little bit with lumber prices. Now, we are in the process of building right now, and we're actually on the third phase of three phases. When we were on the first phase, lumber prices were pretty good. They were around 344 for a 2x4. Then, a couple months ago, we have the spike, and the spike caused that same 2x4 to be $11. And that is just local in Oklahoma. Those prices are different at other places. Now, those prices have already started to come back down to around $3.50. And I still have more to buy. I am sitting here thinking, man, I spent 75% more on my house. Actually, it was about 50% more. Anyway, was that investment a good investment or a bad investment? Well, I like to sit there and think to myself, man, I bought it high and I used it. But I used it to build a house. I didn't use that money for anything else. So even though that 2x4 cost me 3 times what it costs now, the value of owning a house is more important. We have to make plans because things are going to start to get wild. Everywhere you go, especially like fast food restaurants or just restaurants in general, you're going to see signs that say stuff like, we're out of this product or we're out of that product. I went to Burger King for breakfast the other day, couldn't get a sausage croissant. I had to get a bacon. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But when Americans are used to just getting whatever they want, pick up the phone, Grubhub, Postmates, whatever, and you can get whatever you want, whenever you want, when things start to not be available, things are going to start getting scary. Now, what we're going to start to see now that lumber prices have gone down, the reason lumber prices are going down is because nobody's buying it right now, because food prices are going up. I spoke in another video about Waffle House. My mom used to be a waitress at Waffle House, and as a small child, I would sit there and I would drink my hot cocoa and do my things while she was working. I looked up the cost of a basic hamburger from Waffle House back when I was a child, and that was about $3 and a couple cents. Minimum wage was also $3 and a couple cents. Actually, minimum wage would have let you buy the main meal with a drink and leave a little tip. Fast forward today, main meal on a Waffle House menu is $9.08, and minimum wage is still $7.25. So you can no longer buy the main meal on the Waffle House menu with a 1 hour's pay. That's inflation. Now, if they raise that not your minimum wage to 15, well, then you can afford to buy that meal and leave a tip. Probably sits around 12. So if you look at the Waffle House menu, look at different menus, that is where you're going to start to see where people are going to start feeling, the pinch, because food costs are going up. As food costs go up, everything else starts to hurt. And then if we have any supply interruptions, it's going to be, the prices are going to go up even higher. So why do I say that? Is that all doom and gloom? Maybe. So it's doom and gloom if you're not prepared. So here's the thing. You need to do your budgets. Make sure you have your 4 walls. Make sure you have your utilities. And make sure you have some emergency stuff. You need to have emergency money. You need to have emergency food. You need to have emergency water. And what do I mean by emergency food and water? I don't mean you need to go get a warehouse and put 10,000 MREs in it. All you need to do is have enough water on hand at any given time for 3 weeks. Have enough food on hand at any given time for 3 weeks. Why do I say 3? I don't know. I just made that number up out of thin air. 3 weeks. Most people say about a week to 2 weeks before help will show up. So I say 3. When the tornadoes hit more, I think it was back in 2013, I'll have to double check. we responded with our business. We responded to go feed the first responders. And we spent about a week and more at the Lowe's just cooking and cooking and cooking. And then when things started to settle down there, we decided to start feeding a group out in Little Axe. So we went out to Little Axe, Oklahoma every day, did a meal, fed the workers, did all that stuff. About a week after we got to Little Axe, the Red Cross showed up at Little Axe. So what it looked like to me is it took 2 weeks for the Red Cross to get to Little Axe. So we beat the Red Cross to Little Axe, which is really cool. I mean, it's not a big deal. Red Cross is pretty awesome. But we beat them there. And it was 2 weeks after the event. So that's kind of why I say 3 weeks. If you have 3 weeks of food, 2 weeks, you'll probably get Red Cross or some assistance. And then that third week gives you a little extra bounce. And that's 3 weeks for everybody in your household. Make sure you have water, clean water. And I've got a hack for you. And it's not perfect, but it's a pretty good hack. If you go to an RV shop or go to the RV section of your big box store, you can buy an RV water filter. Hook that up to the end of a water hose and it will clean out most contaminants. So it's about 20 bucks. You can get them, online or whatever, about $20, and you will have a water filter that you can use on a garden hose. It's not, like I said, perfect, but if you're having to boil water and do all that kind of stuff, it's a good way to get clean water and fast. So RV water filter, that will help you with that. As far as food for 3 weeks, get yourself some staples. You can get a big bag of beans for not that much. And, it takes some time to cook some beans, and maybe we'll do that on a later channel. I'll teach you guys how to cook some beans from scratch. But beans, rice, pastas, things that can be shelf stable and will fill your belly. You don't want to do things like bread, because if you store bread doesn't last long, but you can store flour. So learn how to make bread and learn how to make bread over a fire. That's my next task. I'm going to learn how to make bread in a Dutch oven over a campfire. Because yes, I have all this other stuff. I can do it in the oven, but if the shit hits the fan, we're going to need to be able to do some different things. So take some time and learn something new. Learn how to cook bread in a Dutch oven. The point is, things are going to get really scary. And the reason I say that, I hope I'm wrong, is Vice President Harris is talking about people need to start doing their Christmas shopping now because they don't know what the supply chains are going to be like in December. She's in Southeast Asia right now, or about to come back. And she probably knows that all those little plastic toys we buy are not going to be available. And there's just not going to be a lot of them. So kind of keep that in mind. For us, we tell our kids the real meaning of Christmas. So we don't have to worry about buying a billion toys. That's not what it's about. And that's not what we're going to continue to teach. They know why we celebrate Christmas. And it's not for the little plastic stuff. Little plastic stuff happens the rest of the year. So what are we doing now? Getting ready. Like I said, get ready for your food. Get ready. Save some money aside. The mortgage moratorium is leaving, and there's a lot of people that don't qualify for it. There's a stimulus coming out for 3 different states. Our state of Oklahoma is not included, which means our dollar is going to be affected because some people are getting money and some people are not. So there's a lot of wonky stuff. I'm still looking it up. There's really no place yet. There's no economy like ours. And this is the first time this has ever happened. We are way over GDP in spending, which means the debt ceiling has to go back up again. And it really scares me that our Congress people sit around that building and say, hey, can we borrow some more money from our kids? And I think it's like great grandkids now. So don't rely on the government to save you. Get debt free, own your property, get away from the city. I mean, I like the city. I'm not that far from the city, but if supply chains are hurt, the cities are going to be hurting. So I'm praying for all you guys that live in the city. Pray for me, live out here in the country. We all have our own risk and rewards. For us, I might get eaten by a bear. For you guys, somebody might shut off your water. Anyway, I hope you guys take this in a positive way. It's not about being scared. Don't be scared. It's about being prepared and kind of thinking about what can go wrong. When you drive a motorcycle, you're supposed to, every car you see on the road, you just supposed to assume that they're going to do something stupid. That's how you ride a motorcycle. When you're taking care of your family and you're trying to navigate through this craziness that is what the United States has become right now, you need to just assume everybody around you is going to do something stupid. And then just be ready. Most important thing, love your family members and be there for them. And if someone's scared, don't call them names. Until next time, work hard, be kind, and have fun.